what you can afford today is better today. What you can afford tomorrow is good tomorrow. So there's no right or wrong answer. The wrong answer is not making an investment.
When you talk about residential real estate, right, we're talking about usually supply, demand, and interest rates. And when we're talking about commercial real estate, the first question we really need to think of is, are we looking at this from an investor's point of view? Are we looking at this from an owner-user's point of view? So an investor is strictly looking to purchase a real estate asset with tenants that's producing income, and they're looking to make a return on their investment.
Welcome to Real Estate On Track on ITV Gold every Friday at 8 p.m. or catch the repeat on Sunday at 8 p.m. Trust the expertise of On Track Realty since 1994. You can contact them at 732-494-2211. Today, we have the pleasure of welcoming Sahil along with his dad, Sanjeev Aneja, who is a lead broker and owner of On Track Realty, experienced and distinguished with past roles like President of Middlesex County Association of Realtors, New Jersey Realtor of the Year, and New Jersey Real Estate Commissioner. Let me tell you a little bit about Sahil also. Sahil is a dedicated realtor specializing in both residential and commercial sales as a valued member of the Aneja team at On Track Realty. He embarked on his real estate journey after graduating from Rutgers Business School in 2019, and his commitment to this field has been unwavering ever since. Beyond his professional endeavors, Sahil finds inspiration in various pursuits such as going to the gym, immersing himself in literature, honing his writing skills, and practicing mindfulness through meditation. Sahil is also an alumnus of the prestigious Honors College at Rutgers Business School. So let's welcome both of them today. Welcome Sahil and welcome Sanjeev ji. How are you today?
Welcome, Pia. Pleasure to see you always.
Thank you so much. So, as I was coming, I saw this big truck outside. What is that all about?
Oh, a moving truck.
Yes.
That's a service for our clients. Many years we used to have the truck. For some time, insurance issues came in where they didn't want to insure the truck and all for the clients. So we finally got a new truck in. It's the Aneja team truck. So Alka, Neetu, Sahil, you will see their picture on there. I borrowed some space in the back of the truck.
Okay.
So it's a service for clients. It's an added wow to give it to clients. When people are moving, last thing they want to think about is, what if I don't get a truck? Whatever. Now, this truck is available to clients either when they're moving, or let's say one day they want to go to Costco and buy some chairs, and what are they going to do? So they give us a call and they use our truck. So it's an added service to our clients, and it's a way of saying thank you for the opportunity to serve you.
So Sahil, will you be driving it?
Yes, absolutely. You might see me on the streets with that truck, absolutely.
Yeah, so it's always a concern when you have a 14-foot truck to go on the road, but a little extra reminder that this is a big truck. It has a clearance height of 10.5 feet, so you cannot go under a bridge that is 10 feet. The truck will crush. Your turns are a little wider. Once you take that precaution, it's like a large minivan, so you'll be totally fine.
And I understand it has a backup camera and
There's
everything.
a backup camera and everything. So just a little extra carefulness. When we came to this country, we were living in an apartment, and there was this lady next door neighbor. She used to drive 18-wheeler truck.
Wow.
And we were like, wow, we cannot even drive a car. And she's driving 18-wheeler. I still remember that 40 years later. So some people leave that impression. So this is not a huge
But
truck
I
at
think
all.
you were doing good today while driving it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm used to it. So Sahil has to go on the wheel to drive it.
Yeah, he's very good, no doubt about it.
So today, let's talk about residential and commercial real estate. So what is the difference? I want to ask Sahil, especially I think he specializes in this.
Yeah,
so what is the difference
between... Today's Sahil's show, so take it over.
Absolutely. So tell us the difference between residential and commercial real estate.
Sure. So, I mean, the basic difference is residential real estate. We're talking about places where you're going to live. A property, it might be a single family home, it might be a condo, a townhouse, apartment. Even 2-family, 3-family, up to 4-family is considered residential property. Commercial is really being used for business purposes. As an investment, it could be office space, it could be retail space, warehouse, a mixed use, it might be retail and office. And even if it's residential units, more than 4, that's getting considered as commercial property. Now
So the lender, what Sahil is saying is the lender treats a 5-family plus as a commercial loan. You don't get a residential loan on it.
And I was just going to say, there's differences in what kind of financing you can obtain based on the type of property. There's differences as far as zoning goes. There's differences. There's many nuances that we can get into, but that's just a general kind of difference between the two.
Yeah, good
Yeah.
point. So basic what Sahil said was residential is where you live or somebody lives that you rent to. Commercial is where you do business out of and make income, whether it's your own business office or whether you rented it to somebody. It's not a living quarters, residential is living quarters, right?
And I would say the process for purchasing and selling are different for both also.
Both of them,
So people
yes.
tend to think it's just real estate, we're just selling real estate, but your due diligence process, everything you're going through as far as purchasing and making sure you're making the right kind of deal, it differs between residential and
Absolutely.
commercial.
Very good. Yes.
So
good.
how is the commercial real estate market these days?
It really depends. So when you talk about residential real estate, right, we're talking about usually supply, demand, and interest rates. And when we're talking about commercial real estate, the first question we really need to think of is, are we looking at this from an investor's point of view? Are we looking at this from an owner-user's point of view? So an investor is strictly looking to purchase a real estate asset with tenants that's producing income, and they're looking to make a return on their investment. An owner-user is looking to occupy that same building for the purposes of their business, right? So the real estate market right now, with interest rates where they are, 7.5%, 8%, the investment market has really slowed down in the last probably year or so. In New Jersey, the average return you can get on a commercial investment could be between 4 to 7.5% or so. If you're looking at interest rates at 7.5%, 8%, it really prices a lot of people out who are looking to finance the property.
Right. So the beauty of this still is the real estate market hasn't crashed. There's so much cash out there. People are coming with cash.
Right.
Or if people have, like Sahil said, it varies. Your return could be 4% on a Starbucks rented property. Your return could be 12% in an area that is crime-ridden, where nobody wants to buy. So vacancy is higher, and your return is higher on a potential too. So with so much cash, things haven't slowed down as much as they should have because of interest. But however, we are seeing a difference compared to a year ago as the interest rates have gone up. It changes the bottom line of the investor.
And it's a good point because in residential real estate, we've seen rates go up. And buyers ask all the time, the rates keep going up, why isn't the market slowing down? Because as a residential buyer, you're looking for a property you love. It's an emotional decision. It's okay, I'll pay a few $100s extra a month. I want this property. For an investor, as the rates go up, the numbers stop making sense. So that market is more affected. The investment market is more affected by higher interest rates. And that's what we've seen the last year or two.
Yeah.
So tell me, how are the lease agreements and negotiations? How are they? I'm sure they differ from the commercial as well as the real, the other real estate market. So what is the difference?
Right. So supply and demand always.
Okay.
If there is too much supply, the lease rates are going to go down because vacancy is high. If there is no supply at all, and somebody wants to be on Fifth Avenue, Park Avenue in New York City, the lease is going to be high. So in some places, and we'll talk about Oak Tree Road in Edison for a moment and Island for a moment. There are certain places where you would pay $20 a square foot. There are certain places where you pay $70 a square foot because the size is smaller, the storefront is there, and you're willing to pay the premium. The size becomes bigger, the rate goes down because you're taking a lot of space at that point. So much has to go into it. It changes from one block to the other. Sometimes we don't even know what inspires a tenant to pay that high of a rent because we are worried, will they really survive if they pay that kind of rent? And some people survive and thrive with that kind of rent, and some people cannot survive in $15 a square foot rent. So, one other thing, lot of time that we are asked, especially because of Indian clientele, they will say, is the square foot rate monthly or annual? See, in India, the rate is monthly.
Right.
Here, the rate is annual. So when we say $15, $20, $60, it's not a monthly rate, it's an annual rate. So you divide it by 12, and that's how you get to monthly rate.
And I think speaking of that, when you're looking at an investor's point of view, some people ask, should I invest in residential real estate? Should I invest in commercial real estate? One key differentiating factor is the lease types. Residential, many people out there have been tenants. You sign a 1-year lease usually. If you own a residential property at that point, that turnover is happening every single year. In the commercial space, it's oftentimes 3 years, 5 years, 10 years. People like Starbucks are signing 15-year leases. They pay the taxes. They pay the insurance. It's less headache and management for a landlord. That's a
And
key differentiating
that's why
factor.
the rate of return is low, because its risk is very low. See, it's always risk and reward. Higher the risk, higher the reward. Lower the risk, lower the reward. Always any investment property.
So which one is a better investment?
There is no, you go to Macy's, there's a white shirt, black shirt, red shirt, green shirt. Which one is better?
I would pick the green.
For you, I will never pick green.
So you always have this green screen, so you've loved green.
So what you answered it beautifully. It depends on each person. Which one is better? Some people say, well, I don't have the money for commercial. I want the residential. Commercial deals are more expensive most of the time. So they may have to start with residential. Some people say, I don't want the monthly headache or annual headache. I want that commercial deal. Which one is better? What you can afford today is better today. What you can afford tomorrow is good tomorrow. So there is no right or wrong answer. The wrong answer is not making an investment. So today I had an article in Facebook. I heard something in the radio. It's buy now, pay later. So what stores are saying is you cannot afford to buy today, pay later. Who is going to pay? You still have to pay.
Exactly.
If you cannot afford it today, how will you afford it tomorrow? So don't spend the money you don't have, or if the money that you're going to waste, start saving that money to invest. Not investing is a bad decision. Wasting is a bad decision. But which one is better? It depends upon circumstances. And again, that's why we sit with clients. We understand their needs. We talk to them. We tell them this is not good right now, and we tell them this is better right now. But it depends on each. Pia may come and we may have a different answer. Vinod may come and we may have a different answer. Somebody else may come, we may have a totally different answer.
I would say they both, like Dad said, they both have pros, they both have cons. But if you're just starting off, it typically will make more sense to buy, in my opinion, a residential investment. One, the price point is lower, like Dad said. Two, many people have already had experience being tenants. So you're familiar with the ins and outs of the process. And three, you can buy something that's close to you. We always say with your first investment, it shouldn't be 45 minutes away from you. It should be something close, you can keep an eye on it, and you're familiar with the local area. So probably as a first investment, residential tends to make a lot more sense unless you've hit the lottery and you need a place to put all the money.
$1.4 billion. Hey, listen, if you win, and we hope you win, remember, we are wishing you the very best. So give
And
us a call.
we'll be your brokers for life,
Yeah,
absolutely.
And we'll find you the right properties, big ones.
So since we are talking about the properties, and of course, any properties for sale, any commercial properties for sale?
Yes, so we have ongoing inventory of properties. Things come, things sell. We have properties for lease on Oak Tree Road in Edison. It's an office building. Right across Middlesex County College, we have space for lease. Also, we just listed an office condo in Piscataway. It's very well priced at $239. It is 1,000 square feet upstairs with a full basement downstairs. And it's all finished and beautifully done. For $239, if you have an office, if you're an attorney, if you're an accountant, and Piscataway is okay for you, makes full sense why rent when you can buy your own and build an asset. So remember we were talking about building your portfolio. Now this is the best portfolio. It is not residential, but it is for you. It makes your office at this price. You cannot even buy a home condo today, and you stop making your landlord rich. You go and you run your business from there. Again, it's 1,000 square feet, so it's not a huge space, but great for a mortgage person, maybe a real estate broker, maybe an attorney, maybe even a physician. It's available there to take care of it. So in Piscataway, it's on Stilton Road. The address is 216 Stilton Road, 239,000. And then other spaces are available. We actually have a property on Green Street. We have an offer on it, but it's still available. Technically, it's 600,000. It's 1,900 square feet. Excellent location, excellent visibility. So again, it's good for any professional out there. Now, there is a difference in an investment and a user. If you are a user, it makes all the sense to not pay rent if you can use the property. Who is the best tenant and who is your best landlord? You are. So you're your best tenant, you're your best landlord, and you decide what the market rent is compared to what the market is, and you write it off and depreciate it. There are so many benefits in investments. When we talk to you about it, we'll show you the benefits too. So those are the properties. So if you want to lease, buy, sell, we are here for you.
Sahil,
We have some land in Piscataway too, actually. It's 2-acre properties being subdivided into 2 1-acre lots. So if you're looking to build in Piscataway, that property is there too. And
So how does the land-
It's 650,000, yes.
Okay, how does the land thing work? Is it like different from the buying a, already made home?
So land lets you build a custom home. Land is good for a builder who wants to build a custom home for somebody. Or a builder says, I'm going to put my 2 standard homes, and whoever wants to buy a brand new home. If you buy a current home, you are not stuck, but you're buying what already exists. When you're building, you build the way you want to build it, yes.
And you just want to be careful. You want to have somebody who knows what they're doing on your side. Figure out what are the utility situation there. Does it have public gas? Does it have public sewer? Am I going to need a septic tank? How big of a home can I build on this land? Are there wetlands? There's so many factors that go into it that you wouldn't consider if you were just purchasing a home.
Right, and anytime you buy land, even if it is raw land, you always want to do your due diligence on the property to make sure there are no oil tanks on the property and things like that. There may be an abandoned oil tank that you get stuck with, and all of a sudden there's a leak in there, and now there is an environmental issue there. So do your due diligence, like Sahil said.
And that's where a real estate agent comes
That's where a
in.
good real estate agent
Yes.
comes in. See, there's a difference between any person can sell a home in today's market. You don't even need a realtor. You can just say, giving my home away, and put it on your yard. The good realtor now guides you throughout. Finding a buyer is easy, but taking it through the process and doing it with honesty and integrity for you, even when you're not watching. Because the integrity is honesty when somebody's not watching.
Right.
Everybody's honest in front of somebody, but are we honest and thinking about them when they are not even watching? That's what integrity is all about.
And plus, you have a bonus when you have a moving truck.
Oh, moving truckers, yes. that's reserved for our clients. Absolutely, yes. Thanks for bringing it up again. It's a new toy for us.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Even it was a new toy for me looking at it.
Yes. Thank you.
As I mentioned before, that Sahil is a writer too, and he has written a book, and I think that has been very long ago, and because I remember probably more than a decade back when I had that book and I have read it, and the book is called Happyology. So today I want to ask Sahil, first of all, how did you get into it, and how can one, be happy all the time?
Well, let me say, I wrote the book when I was in high school. How did I get into it? My dad had written a book already, and I was exposed to a lot of these kind of motivational thinking, Jim Rohn, Zig Ziglar. This was the stuff I was reading as a kid. So naturally, these thoughts start to come up that, we go to work to make money, but why? we go to eat dinner with our family, but why? And when you keep looking at why, at the end, everybody wants the same thing. Everybody wants to be happy. And it's not something they teach in schools. It's not something, they don't talk about setting goals, having, being grateful, having the right attitude. So all of this stuff was not covered in schools. And it became a passion of mine to try to get it to kids. And in fact, just recently, I had a basketball camp. We were having a basketball camp. We were hosting it with middle school kids. At the end, I gave them all a copy of the book.
Sahil was coaching the little.
Wow.
I was coaching them, yeah. And at the end, I gave them all a copy of the book. They couldn't believe it. None of them had even thought of the concept before, and the school's definitely not going to teach it. But if at a young age somebody learns that it's inside, it's the right attitude, it's the right approach, then it can be life-changing. And in fact, if there's somebody out there, you have a smaller child, or even for yourself, if they're interested in it, it would be my pleasure, to provide a copy of the book. And if it can even help one person, it would be a great source of satisfaction.
Yeah. See, at age 17, he wrote the book.
I can see you're a proud dad, the way you are.
And yeah, it was amazing because he didn't tell me that he's writing a book. And then all of a sudden he says, "Dad, where do I find a publisher?" And I said, "For what?" He says, "I've written a book." And that's when it started, and the book got published and everything. Happiness is a choice.
It is.
A rich man, the richest man in the world, is not happy. Poorest man in the world is very happy. So it depends upon the internal satisfaction, the gratitude. Sahil talked about gratitude for a minute. If you're not thankful, you're not happy. It's simple as that. You get a Mercedes, $200,000 car, but your next door guy gets a Porsche at $250,000, and you're happy with your $200,000 car. And then there's this other guy who's riding a bicycle and is whistling and enjoying it, has no problem whatsoever. So happiness is not what we have, happiness is what's within. In our meeting I was talking about yesterday, there was this guy who was blowing helium balloons, and this little kid, a little black kid, comes and saying, "Sir, the red balloon went up, the green balloon went up, the white balloon went up. Can the black balloon fly too?" Look at the little black boy asking this beautiful question. And the balloon guy says, "Son, it's not the color outside. It's what's inside the balloon that matters." So a lot of time we say, "My parents this, my this." We have a sob story. We are always blaming somebody. What's inside you? How can you make the difference for somebody? Let that helium be in you to fly. Don't be caught with your outside thing. It's all within. You can do it. Right?
And that's why I think they both have understood happiness, and I feel at On Track Realty, everybody, whenever you go there, you see everybody happy and smiling. So I know, I think I have seen on Facebook you are hiring people, right?
So we're not happy all the time. It would be false if we said we're always happy. But you recover quickly. See, there will be times when you're mad, and there are times when you're upset. Because that's how we are. But how quickly you get back out of it. You get into an accident, well, you're upset for a minute. But then you get back and saying, "Thank God nobody got hurt, and I'm okay. And it's all okay, and I'm happy about it." Right? So you can convert that thing into it. But talking about joining our team, if you're full-time, if you're willing to put God first, if you are willing to put clients first with honesty and integrity, we want to talk to you. In fact, we have a training session, a retreat that we do every year for our team. It's on October 24th and 25th, right? So if you want to be a part of team, if you're already a real estate agent, not achieving your goals, want to be in an environment that is positive, talk to us. We would love you to be part of our retreat. Or if you're brand new and want to do it full time, we want to talk to you. You bring your will, we'll show you the way.
Thank you so much, and I think we are all set for today, and by the time I leave this office, I think I'll be also smiling and happy.
You're always smiling.
Thank you. Thank you. And yes, we definitely will be back next week again, same time, same day. Till then, goodbye, and thank you,
Same to
Sanjeev ji,
you.
and thank you, Sahil, for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you.